just want to say good evening and welcome to the 23rd Annual Top Cop Awards hosted by the Greater Hampton Roads Regional Crime Line. I'm Erin Miller and I'm with WTKR News 3, and I'm really honored to be here another year. This is, I think, my third year that I've been doing this, and so I'm so honored that the Crime Line has asked me to come back again. Last year's luncheon was wonderful for those of you who were able to be there, but I don't know about you, it's really fun to get all gussied up and come out for a night out, and so we're really excited to be able to do a formal dinner this evening. This event is, of course, about honoring our local law enforcement, our agencies, our individual partners, and so many of you who work day in and day out to keep our community safe and to protect us. Oftentimes, and y'all know this, I don't need to tell you, that your sacrifices are overlooked, but not tonight. Tonight, this is all about you. So we are gonna highlight some really incredible stories in just a moment. But first, we have some business that we have to cover. I am a reporter, so we gotta get to some of that first. Tonight, the facts about Crime Line. It's a nonprofit to raise money. That's what all of this is here for tonight, an opportunity to raise money for Crime Line. As a nonprofit, Crime Line relies entirely on donations and fundraisers to pay for different tip software every time something new comes out, the 1-888-LOCK-YOU-UP number, and to pay out reward money for all those bad people that do bad things in the community that you all arrest to keep us safe. So this money goes directly to that. Would everyone please rise now for the presentation of colors by the Virginia Beach Honor Guard, followed by the national anthem performed by Tamar Smithers, Executive Director of the Virginian African American Cultural Center.
Step. Detail. Hold. Left. Face. Present. Oh!
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Order. Oh! Ready. Flip. Colors. Ready. Cut. Right. Face. Port. Arms. Forward. March.
Goodness, Tamar, that was incredible. Can she get another round of applause, please? I need to get you on Spotify if you're not there already. My goodness. Thank you, everyone. You can please be seated. Next, I would like to invite up Chaplain Roger Gauthier with the Virginia Beach Police Department, who will give our invocation.
Please join me for the invocation. Source of all blessing, we desire your presence here among us as we honor top cops and celebrate their zealous dedication. We celebrate their capacity for critical thinking and focused effort for the betterment of our city and society. Give honor where honor is due to the officers and to their families and colleagues who supported them in their paths to excellence. As we gather, thank you for the blessing upon this evening's fellowship, ceremony, and meal, and may it be so. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaplain. Now the Mayor of Virginia Beach would like to come up and say a few words. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Bobby Dyer. Maybe not. Okay, well, we will move along to inviting Police Chief Paul Newdigate up to the stage as well for a few words. Thank you so much.
How are you?
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, honorees, good evening. Welcome to Virginia Beach and the 2023 Hampton Roads Crime Solvers Top Cop Awards Banquet. It truly is an honor to be here tonight as we gather to celebrate the achievements and unwavering dedication of the men and women who make Hampton Roads safer each day. So tonight, we come together to not only recognize excellence, but to express our profound gratitude to our brave officers who put their lives on the line to protect and serve. We are here to pay tribute to their exceptional commitment and the sacrifices they make, often under extraordinary challenges. So our police agencies, they're not just symbols of safety, but they are the embodiment of courage, compassion, community, and the officers that we honor tonight exemplify these qualities. They are the true heroes of our cities, symbolizing the values of integrity, honor, and duty. As I mentioned, this evening is not just a celebration of individual achievements, it is a celebration of collective spirit of service that drives every member of our departments and their commitment to protect and serve. We must also acknowledge the sacrifices made by the families who support our loved ones in uniform. Families, we see you and we thank you. I'd like to express my deepest appreciation to our Crime Solvers Board, those who have worked tirelessly to put this together. Without your dedication, this evening is not possible. And as we move forward in celebrating the heroes among us, let us remember that it is our duty as a community to support and stand with our peace officers. Let us strengthen the bond between law enforcement and the people they serve, working hand in hand to build a safer, more just society. So once again, welcome to the beach. Welcome to the 2023 Hampton Roads Crime Solvers Banquet. And we're glad to have you here and enjoy your time. And thank you for all your service.
Thank you so much, Chief. Now we would like to thank some of the people who have been helping with this evening's dinner. But before that, we want to welcome up Chairwoman of the Greater Hampton Roads Regional Crime Line, Kathy Richards, who really is the one who made all of this possible tonight. So please give her a round of applause.
Thank you. We welcome you to the 23rd Annual Top Cop Awards event. We're very excited that we've been able to move back to a dinner this year to celebrate and honor our area law enforcement officers who have gone above and beyond in their duties to keep the citizens of their cities or counties safe, as well as recognize citizens for their contributions to our community. Without this dedication, we would not be able to make a difference in our community. Please take a look at our sponsors throughout your program booklet tonight. In addition to supporting this event, these sponsors also help to fund the local and regional crime line programs, specifically both the P3 Tips app and the 1-888 Lock You Up phone lines. In 2022, local crime line programs received a total of 4,659 calls or text tips. 269 cases were solved, resulting in 230 arrests. A total of $314,199 in stolen property and drugs were recovered. A total of $52,051 was approved for rewards. To our law enforcement officers, their families, sponsors, guests, and local program boards, we say thank you. I would also like to personally thank the directors and coordinators that serve on the regional board. The hard work that you put into the program and to this event has not gone unnoticed. Remember, we as the regional board stand with you and behind you. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Thank you, Kathy. Now, before we move on, we want to thank some of the other folks who were helping making this evening possible. Thank you to Valerie Baker and Danny Epperson in the back of the room there who are recording video of this evening's event, as well as our photographer, Shelly Coziana, who joins us every year. Just to note, if there's anybody who cannot be photographed for any reason, please tell Shelly. She won't take your photo. We don't want to put you on blast like that. So Shelly, just raise your hand so everybody knows where to find you. She's the one with the camera in case you miss her. As I mentioned earlier, this is an opportunity to raise money for Crime Line. There are going to be a bunch of people who will be walking around throughout the night. We are selling 50-50 raffle tickets, and the drawing will happen at the end of the evening, and we also have a couple of cool prizes. There's a barrel of booze out there for anybody that wants to celebrate Halloween a weekend accordingly after this, so we'll be sure to remind you throughout the night. But for now, please enjoy your dinner, and we will pick things back up in just a little bit. All right, how is everybody doing now? We've got a bunch of full stomachs. I hope you all enjoyed dinner. I know mine was delicious. Thank you to everybody here who is working at the West End who had a part in making that beautiful meal for us. So we want to move on to our awards portion of the evening. Before we get to that, I want to first recognize our sponsors. So when we get into the meat and potatoes of the award ceremony, if y'all can just come up on the left side of the stage, and then you'll kind of we'll take a step back, and then you'll have your photo taken and just exit to this side of the stage. So my right, your left. So our first platinum sponsor is Bright Bin Yazin. If you could come up and get your award, please. Congratulations, Bright. Next, would a representative from the Newport News Police Department come on up for your award as well? You are also a platinum sponsor. And our final platinum sponsor is BB Crime Solvers. Mike Carey doing the good work of receiving the award. Our next are the award sponsors, and first we have Full Implant Choice, Dr. Adam Hogan. And I might be a little biased introducing this next award. WTKR News 3. My lovely boss, Allison Herman, everyone. And we'd also like to recognize a new sponsor, Courthouse Academy in Virginia Beach. And I also have a special guest that's going to be joining me up on stage this evening, so I would like to ask you to join me in welcoming my friend and the ever so talented Coast Live host, Chandler Nunnally, as we move forward and present the awards for everyone else. And a note too that your direct supervisor or your chief is also welcome and encouraged to come up on stage as you all accept your awards and smile for the photos as well. We begin with Chandler kicking us off this evening.
Thank you so much, Erin. All right, our first award that we're giving out tonight from the Chesapeake Police Department, the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, retired Chief Kelvin Wright. Please come to the stage. Welcome to the round of applause. We have a recipient accepting this award on Chief Wright's behalf. Chief Kelvin Wright joined the Chesapeake Police Department in 1982, first as a patrol officer, and quickly moved through the ranks before becoming police chief in 2008. As Chief Wright progressed, he was instrumental in implementing the department's community policing program in South Norfolk. He partnered with citizens to address community concerns and implement strategies to lower crime and improve quality of life for the citizens of Chesapeake. Chief Wright had a strong commitment to community policing and was nationally recognized for progressive law enforcement services, which included being an early advocate. I just told you this was, sorry guys, this microphone and me don't get along. We have a long history together. Chief Wright had a strong commitment to community policing and was nationally recognized for progressive law enforcement services, which included being an early advocate for body-worn cameras, which are a fact of life now in law enforcement. Chief Wright has served the citizens with honor and distinction for over 40 years. During his 14 years as police chief, he developed and executed the Chesapeake Crime Reduction Plan. This is a very interesting statistic. During his first full year as chief, Chesapeake experienced more than 9,000 Part 1 crimes. Now, when he retired in 2022, that number was down to 6,000. What an incredible achievement. Chief Wright's contribution will benefit the Chesapeake Police Department and the entire police profession for years to come. Once again, Chief Kelvin Wright, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award.
And that was retired Chief Kelvin Wright. Thank you so much. And y'all have to excuse me because, I'm getting to it. I'm getting yelled at because I did not see Mayor Dyer come in the door, and I really want to make sure that the mayor gets a chance to speak and welcome everybody to the beautiful city of Virginia Beach. So can y'all please do a round of applause before we move along to welcome Mayor Dyer.
You do not have to feel yelled at. That's okay. I'll tell you what an honor to welcome you all to our city in Virginia Beach. And I'll tell you what, we regard Virginia Beach as a city of heroes in a region of heroes. You know, crime knows no boundaries. It's an integrated way of doing things that we work cooperatively with each other to make us one of the safest regions in this great nation. And I just wanted to personally thank everybody in this room, for what we do. And I'll tell you what, when you think about the sacrifice that people make, the men and women in uniform every day to keep us safe, and when somebody ever criticizes a police officer, I said, why don't you do a ride-along sometime and see what these folks go through? But once again, I can't thank you enough for being here in Virginia Beach. And what an honor it is to welcome all of you and give you the honor that you indeed deserve. And God bless you, stay safe, and keep on doing what you're doing because you do it so darn well. Thank you and God bless. Be safe.
It's always such a privilege and a pleasure to hear from Mayor Bobby Dyer. Thank you so much. Moving along with our programming now, we have our Citizen Award. This is a really special award that we give out every year. And we would like to invite up Robert Toby Lane. Robert Toby Lane is an outstanding citizen who has contributed. Is this given out on me too? Yep. All right, well, we're just gonna yell if it gives out and just bear with me because we're rolling through this, everyone. Robert Toby Lane is an outstanding citizen who has contributed to our community in so many ways. Toby has served the City of Williamsburg Board of Zoning Appeals and the Public Housing Advisory Committee. He's a vocal advocate who isn't afraid to go to bat for public safety and police initiatives. Even at the risk of higher tax rates for himself, he has outspokenly supported salary increases, post-retirement health benefits, and the construction of a new police headquarters. Toby was also crucial in establishing Williamsburg National Night Out Committee. The agency has come to rely on Toby for insight on programs, operations, and initiatives as well. He's become instrumental and an informal advisor to the chief, city leadership, and elected officials for all things public safety. Not only he can frequently be found riding shotgun with officers both day and night, making sure that he has first-hand knowledge of operational needs and officer concerns. Toby has always been there to support the Williamsburg Police Department, regardless of the issue, and we are proud to call him a citizen and a friend.
Our next honorees tonight come from the Chesapeake Police Department. Officers Kenneth Krogman and Felix Feliz Rodriguez. Over the past 2 years, the city of Chesapeake experienced an increase in gun violence, seeing 45 homicides, 24 of them happening in the South Norfolk neighborhood. As a result, the 2nd Precinct's C Squad officers set a goal to remove illegal firearms from these communities. Officers Kenneth Krogman and Felix Feliz Rodriguez, who often operate as a 2-officer unit, were a major catalyst for that squad's success. One particular arrest in February, Officers Krogman and Feliz Rodriguez focused on a neighborhood seeing more gun and gang violence. When patrolling, they saw a vehicle with 5 people acting suspiciously, and they initiated a traffic stop. The officers then seized 4 illegal firearms from the vehicle, including an AK-47, which had been reported stolen from the city of Virginia Beach. One of the people was a certified gang member who is a suspect in an ongoing homicide investigation as a result. Additionally, Officers Krogman and Feliz Rodriguez made 21 felony drug arrests. While it is easy to quantify the numbers that I just read to you, it is more difficult to measure the impact of these efforts and how many violent crimes have been prevented by these officers' work. Once again, a round of applause for our officers.
Up next, we recognized Sergeant Brad Simmons with the Gloucester County Sheriff's Office. Sergeant Brad Simmons is the training coordinator and special operations unit leader for the Gloucester County Sheriff's Office. Originally appointed as a deputy sheriff in 1994, Sergeant Simmons has served for nearly 30 years. The office has benefited from his work ethic, training philosophy, and servant leadership. Of his many accomplishments, well, I'll just read a few. He's a veteran of the United States Navy and a graduate from the Peninsula Tidewater Academy of Criminal Justice. Since coming to the agency, Sergeant Simmons has served as a satellite coordinator for the Hampton Roads Criminal Justice Training Academy and was also inducted into the Hall of Fame. He was instrumental in forming the agency's Special Operations Unit and was promoted to team leader in 2008. Sergeant Simmons exemplifies the term community servant and servant leader. He's also a trusted volunteer for several community partnerships as well. Between his outstanding leadership skills and personal achievements, Sergeant Simmons has consistently helped Hampton Roads and surrounding areas safer.
Our next honoree tonight comes from the Hampton Police Division. Please join me in welcoming Patrol Officer Jaquan Loney. Officer Loney is a dedicated and motivated member of the Hampton Police Division. His work ethic and desire to perform has consistently placed him among the most inspiring officers on his squad. Just one of the many examples of Officer Loney's dedication was diffusing violent crime in the old Northampton neighborhood. There were fights, attempted maimings, and shootings into occupied buildings. Officer Loney was a constant for the neighborhood, making contacts with people to build trust and share information without the fear of retaliation. So important to build trust in the community. His hard work and persistence paid off as there has been a steep decline in violent offenses for this area. He was also temporarily assigned to the Major Crimes Division of the Investigations Unit this past December, where he proved to be a valuable asset to the team. In addition to helping other detectives, Officer Loney was assigned 13 cases and was able to close 5 of them. He's both an exceptional police officer and a member of the community that he serves. His commitment and work ethic make him a valuable asset to the Hampton Police Department and the city of Hampton. Sir, thank you so much for your work.
Next, we recognize Corporal Benjamin Nicholson and Deputy Johnny Boone with the Isle of Wight County Sheriff's Office. In February of 2022, deputies with the Isle of Wight County Sheriff's Office responded to a residential structure fire just outside of Smithfield. Corporal Benjamin Nicholson and Deputy Johnny Boone arrived on scene first before the fire department got there and immediately started to size up the status of the fire. They learned that somebody was possibly trapped inside of the home, and they were able to make contact with them through the bedroom window. While all this was happening, the first fire engine from the Smithfield Volunteer Fire Department arrived there on scene and was tasked with getting into the home and rescuing that person. Those deputies then helped fire personnel by pulling the fire hose and assisting in the actual fire attack. I'm sure that wasn't in your job description, but good on you. And they let the firefighters focus on rescuing the person that was inside the home. Corporal Nicholson subsequently had to be taken to the hospital because of exposure to the heavy smoke. Corporal Nicholson and Deputy Boone acted quickly, and they ultimately helped rescue this person. They exemplify the Sheriff's Office mission, which reads, "The Isle of Wight County Sheriff's Office is dedicated to protecting the lives, property, and the rights of all citizens we have the honor of serving."
Our next honoree tonight comes from James City County Police Department. Please join me in welcoming Senior Police Officer Justin White. SPO White has been instrumental within the James City County Police Department. In addition to serving as a senior officer, he's an emerging leader in uniform patrol. He serves as an officer in charge on his squad and is often called upon by his supervisors. Holding several titles, he's a firearms, taser, and OC spray instructor. He also instructs the Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training course at the Hampton Roads Criminal Justice Training Academy. SPO White is also a certified ground tracker. This story is incredible. In fact, his skills were critical in safely finding a missing suicidal youth. The student was not at school. They were at school when they made suicidal statements to their peers and then ran out of the building and into the woods. Officer White picked up a human track at the wood line and figured out which way they went. With the help of the drone team and others, the child was found safely within the hour. Incredible. SPO White volunteers for assignments and helps whenever needed. He has a proven level of professionalism and willingness to improve fellow officers and the department as a whole. Officer White, thank you so much.
Next, we recognize Master Police Officer Donald Greathouse with the Newport News Police Department. MPO Donald Greathouse joined the Newport News Police Department in 1992, earning a Master Police Officer status in 2011. He currently serves as the environmental officer for the department, where he aims to find vacant buildings, improperly discarded trash and debris, and criminal activity. MPO Greathouse has identified eyesores and pollution and helped implement solutions. He significantly helped reduce crime by improving lighting and disbanding a large homeless encampment. MPO Greathouse goes above and beyond his duties to educate the community on different safety issues. He's also been teaching civilian response to active shooter events, training and situational awareness to private organizations as well. MPO Greathouse's tireless efforts have had a significant impact on the quality of life there in the community and is a respected leader and an invaluable resource to all. Everybody in the community knows him by name, and they have expressed appreciation for the work that he has done to better their lives. MPO Greathouse takes great pride in his accomplishments and rarely misses an opportunity to make a difference. Newport News is honored to have him as a member of the department.
Our next honorees come from the Norfolk Police Department. Yeah, Norfolk. Sergeant Edward Lord, Detective Logan Luketic, and Detective Justin Marriott. Congratulations. I have a story here, and this is a good one. In August 2022, around 9:30 at night, Sergeant Edward Lord, Detective Logan Luketic, and Detective Justin Marriott from the Anti-Crime Unit were conducting high-intensity enforcement along Vincent Avenue. They then saw several people standing around what they believed to be a stolen automobile. Once they confirmed that that vehicle was in fact stolen, the officers pulled in an attempt to apprehend the people there. Before they could even get out of the vehicle, the officers started taking fire. Several rounds were fired through the front windshield from the suspects. Detective Luketic was hit immediately in the upper chest. Even though he was hurt, Detective Luketic still retrieved his service weapon and was able to fire back. Sergeant Lord, who was seated in the rear passenger seat, got out of the vehicle and encountered one of the suspects. He didn't know if he was armed, but Sergeant Lord chased him down a dark street for about 1 block, where he was then taken into custody. Detective Marriott, who was the front seat passenger, got out of the vehicle to see more suspects running into a home nearby. With no regard for his own safety, Detective Marriott took up a position which exposed him to potential harm, but also allowed him to cover both his injured partner and the suspect house until more help arrived. Although hurt, Detective Luketic called out the incident to dispatch, directed units to their location, and even walked himself to the medics a few blocks away. After more units got there, Detective Marriott approached the suspect's residence, giving verbal commands for all to exit one by one. They were then taken into custody and charged accordingly. Incredible work in the line of duty. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your service.
Next, we recognize Officer Saphira Charles with the Portsmouth Police Department. Officer Saphira Charles has been, I forgot to clap. Officer Saphira Charles has been with the Portsmouth Police Department since 2018 and is currently assigned to uniform patrol. In February, Officer Charles responded to a shots fired call. The victim said that she was sitting in her vehicle in her driveway when she heard 2 gunshots. Glass from the other vehicle flew across the hood of the vehicle where she was seated. She then saw a 16-year-old boy who was living next door standing in the yard from the direction of where the rounds were fired, and then he went inside. Officer Charles determined that the shots were fired into the victim's vehicle, so she contacted the homeowner and asked for the male to come to the door. He was identified, and she learned that he was under house arrest for firearm-related charges and was actively being monitored with an ankle monitor. He was detained, and Officer Charles secured a search warrant The arrest is commendable, as the teen was on bond for 3 other homicides in 2 different cities. I know, I said the same thing. As seen in this investigation, Officer Charles works hard every day. She is an asset to the Portsmouth Police Department, and we thank her for her service.
Our next honorees come from the Smithfield Police Department. Give it up for Officers Christopher Darden, Jacob Nixon, and Robert Herman. This is a harrowing story. On Saturday, January 1st of this year, Officers Christopher Darden, Jacob Nixon, and Robert Herget were on patrol when they got a call for service from a citizen reported screaming coming from the river behind her home. Officers Darden, Nixon, and Herget responded to the call and started checking behind the citizen's house where they heard a person yelling for help. They had determined that there was indeed a person in the river, and they responded to a recreational park on the opposite side from where they were. And when they got to the park, they found the individual situated near a kayak launch. They all ran down the pier to find a woman in the water. They were able to pull her from the water and provide first aid, as well as a thermal blanket to help warm her. The woman then indicated that she had put herself in the water approximately 2 hours prior in an attempt to commit suicide. Medics arrived on scene and took her to a local hospital where she then received medical care and assistance with her mental health. An incredible story. Thank you so much for your work.
Next, we recognize now Detective David Green from the Suffolk Police Department. Now, this story takes place at the time that now Detective Green was an officer. So I'm going to be calling him officer because that's at the time that this happened. So at the time, Officer David Green has demonstrated superior performance while serving with the Suffolk Police Department. We'd like to share 2 examples with you this evening. On April 11th, 2022, Officer Green responded to a person who had barricaded themselves inside of a home and was threatening suicide. Police negotiators were there on scene and they had an open dialogue with the person that was inside. When Officer Green arrived, he was able to get valuable information about that person and then give that information to the negotiators, who were then able to negotiate a peaceful resolution. Also, on April 13th, 2022, Field Training Officer David Green and his rookie officer in training responded to a structure fire where they learned that there were kids inside of the burning home. Without pause, they went inside. Because of their immediate actions that day, a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old were rescued and they only had minor injuries. Both of the officers clearly put their lives on the line to save others.
Our next honorees tonight come from the Virginia Beach Police Department. Master Police Officer Cheryl Bertram. MPO Bertram has set a high standard of policing as a member of the Special Operations Traffic Safety Unit. That unit's mission is to investigate fatal, life-threatening, or complex vehicle crashes. Now, during this time, MPO Bertram has led the entire department with 54 DUI arrests. She's also issued 715 traffic-related summonses and 72 arrests for criminal violations. Incredible numbers. Yes, we can have a round of applause. Well, we all know that being a traffic officer has a dark side as well. One of the fatal crashes she investigated resulted in a manslaughter charge. A driver ran over 2 people in a crosswalk, and sadly, one of those people was killed instantly. The other received life-altering injuries. MPO Bertram assumed the investigation, and that driver was arrested for driving under the influence of drugs. That's one of only 4 drug recognition experts in the department, MPO Bertram makes herself available to help other officers if drugs are suspected in a DUI case. As you all know, these cases are complex and very time-consuming. Beyond her daily tasks, she's also a member of the crisis negotiation team. MPO Bertram is always approachable, willing to help, and is not one for recognition, so sorry about putting you on the spot here. She's an avid traffic enforcer and always looking to get dangerous drivers and violent criminals off of our city streets. From the Virginia Beach Police Department, Master Police Officer Cheryl Bertram, thank you so much.
Up next, the Division 5 Motorcycle Squad. We've got a couple of names to read, but I'm going to recognize everybody in the squad. Sergeant Jared Vance, Senior Trooper Timothy Ferguson, Senior Trooper Jordan Go, Senior Trooper Seth Parks, Senior Trooper Raymond Spees, Trooper James Brook, and Trooper Joshua Harris. The Virginia State Police Division 5 Motorcycle Squad is dedicated to creating safer, more efficient highways and lowering the number of crashes. The 7-member squad, led by Sergeant Jared Vance, patrols the interstates during the busiest hours where mobility is essential for services and law enforcement to respond where they're needed. Of note, during the reporting period, they issued 4,961 summonses for traffic violations. On top of enforcement, the Division 5 Motorcycle Squad is committed to educating motorcycle riders on becoming better operators of their motorcycles, so they host Ride to Save Lives. But that's not all. The Motorcycle Squad has helped with 61 special assignments all across the area, included but not limited to motorcades for President Joe Biden, holiday parades, and military funeral escorts. The Division 5 Motorcycle Squad's service to the public is an asset to Virginia State Police, the Commonwealth of Virginia, and Hampton Roads.
Our next honorees come from the Williamsburg Police Department. Help me in welcoming Patrol Squad Alpha, Officers Stephen Roberts Jr. and Joseph Burns and Sergeant Alexander Willett. On March 19th, just before 2 a.m., Officers Stephen Roberts Jr. and Joseph Burns and Sergeant Alexander Willits responded to a report of a shooting with multiple injuries. And when they got there, one person was lying on the streets with an apparent life-threatening injury. Officer Roberts Jr. immediately started first aid while waiting for medics to arrive on the scene. While he was doing that and watching the victim, a second person showed up and said he was hit in the face by a bullet. At that time, Officer Roberts Jr. tended to their injuries by putting pressure on that facial wound. Simultaneously to that happening, Officer Burns took over the treatment of the first victim, which included holding direct pressure to a life-threatening wound on the victim's neck until medics were able to arrive. Not long after, a third victim was found about a block away with a gunshot wound to his leg. Sergeant Willits responded and put a tourniquet on the patient's leg due to apparent arterial bleeding. These victims were all taken to the hospital and survived. Incredible. Everything that Sergeant Willits, Officer Joseph Burns, and Officer Stephen Roberts Jr. did that night had a profound impact on these three people's survival. And it's important to know that they didn't know where the shooter was during this whole occurrence, so while they were helping to save the lives of these victims, they were also putting their own lives at risk. The top example of professionalism and bravery. Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Next, we recognize Officer Daniel Crocker with the Windsor Police Department. On November 25th, 2022, Officer Daniel Crocker was conducting radar in the parking lot of the Windsor Volunteer Fire Department when a vehicle sped into the lot. A woman got out of the vehicle screaming for help because her 3-year-old daughter was unconscious and not breathing. Officer Crocker assessed that the child was suffering from a fentanyl overdose. He rushed inside the fire department, got an oxygen tank and pediatric mask, and started life-saving measures until the medics got there. The child was given multiple doses of Narcan and rushed to the hospital. Officer Crocker later talked to the mother, who admitted that she bought heroin and left several doses on the seat of her car. The investigation revealed that she thought the child had consumed them when she couldn't find the heroin in the car and her daughter was not breathing. The mother was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison. The young girl was discharged from CHKD 4 days later and we're told is healthy and thriving today, living with family members. Officer Crocker also led the department with 110 arrests and issued over 350 traffic summonses. He exemplifies Windsor PD's motto of committed to the community.
Our next honoree comes from the York-Poquoson Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Brett Schultz. Sergeant Brett Schultz works tirelessly for York County and the York-Poquoson Sheriff's Office K-9 program and has taken on a tremendous amount of responsibility. After the Sheriff's Office got a bloodhound puppy, Sergeant Schultz took immediate responsibility for its training and care until a new handler could be selected. Once a handler was selected, he trained them both. Also during this time, another K-9 handler had to go out on leave, so Sergeant Schultz immediately took on his tasks. For about 4 months, he trained 3 dogs and maintained all of their certifications while still working on a shift helping patrol. One time, Sergeant Schultz and K-9 Sabre responded to a request to run K-9 Sabre on a vehicle stop. After a search, multiple fentanyl pills were found in a hidden compartment. This turned into a search warrant at a home where a major fentanyl dealer was arrested. Over the past year, Sergeant Schultz and K-9 Sabre have been directly responsible or involved in the seizure of over half a kilo of cocaine, several grams of crack cocaine, and more, resulting in over 20 arrests. You'd be hard-pressed to find a more dedicated employee that truly enjoys coming to work every single day. Thank you so much for your work, Sergeant Schultz.
And as we have just finished all of the awards, I want to give a special shout out to Mayor Shannon Glover, who's in the room. Mayor, raise your hand for us. He was in the room. If I saw some hands raising out there. Okay, so just want to say congratulations to all of our honorees. I mean, the work that you do every day is incredible. You know that. You don't need me up here to say that, but we just want to let you know how much we appreciate you and your family's sacrifices as well. So, the big moment of the evening, we would like to announce who has been selected as our overall Hampton Roads top cop and present him, her, or them with a check for $500. So this year, we are very excited to announce Sergeant Edward Lord, Detective Logan Luketic, and Detective Justin Marriott with the Norfolk Police Department. Will you please come to the stage? I was asking them if they wanted to say anything to the room, and they're like, no, keep it moving.
Oh, okay, all right.
But we are going to have them take a photo together. And I didn't mention this at the top, but after we finish the program this evening, we're going to have all of our honorees come together for a group photo, and that is going to happen outside in the lobby once we wrap things up, which will be in just a moment or two. So let's just give them another round of applause.
Thank you.
You don't want to talk?
Thank you, and I'm just grateful to have Detective Luketic still here with us, so thank everybody.
So once again, congratulations to everyone, and what a great night. I had fun. I hope y'all can leave with some smiles. We want to close with having the chaplain come up for our benediction, if you will.
Godspeed to all, be safe. That's it.